Hey everybody, this is my last and final installment in Journey to My Master's. The next video you'll most likely see is graduation recap, and I'm extremely elated for that one. So let's get into it. So this week, our collaborative leadership competencies are data learning and adaptation. So I read from Emergent Strategy, one of the books that were assigned, and this is the last part of the book. So Brown has this framework that reflects collaborative leadership competency of data learning and adaptation because she emphasizes on collective reflection, identifying patterns, evaluating experiences, and applying lessons learned to future iterations of the work. Pretty much data, evaluate, apply. So I really loved her take on things because it seemed not very scholarly, but very based in scholarly principles. And to me, that would be the most impactful way to send out a message. Nobody really wants to hear the scholarly jargon. I mean, some do, but bye. I don't. I want mine to be relatable to the masses. And the masses know more layman's terms than scholarly terms. So I was completely 100% leveled with her on that one. So Jolin et al., they use a shared framework data to talk about the agenda, to set the agenda and to improve it over time. So they also said data is central to collaborative work and is the guiding element for collaborative decision making. I am doing data. Like, it's really cool to say that I'm a researcher. After I graduate, I will apply to become a principal researcher so I can continue to do this work, research, be a storyteller instead of an evaluator. And I 100% look forward to that because MATRI is just getting started. And I also want to utilize it so other organizations, whether that's public health sectors, nonprofit organizations, legislative boards, can understand the impact of what my app can do for you, for us. How can I help you? How can you help me help you? That's all I really want to know. That's like the point of the app. And more on that later, but I'm really excited to consistently dive in and have this feedback loop. What I put in, something comes out, evaluate, put something else in, just keep this loop going so data can literally be useful. And the agenda is going to be clear. There's not going to be any loopholes or slick, inappropriate things because reading some research, I'm just like, this sounds good. But also, there are things left out, or you try to make the data in your favor. With my MATRI research, everything was not in my favor. I definitely explained the barriers of the feedback that I heard from my midwives, pregnant people, postpartum people, or doulas. And it was very grounding. And it also helped me understand things from a different perspective because in my last video, I talked about how just because I am in the African diaspora does not mean we are a monolith, and I need different perspectives to really tailor it to the masses. So got to put in the work, got to humble myself, and just got to dive in. So also with the Jolin et al. Article, they talked about the characteristics of success. And if you know me, I always have a little to-do list. My mom has always made that joke. You got a little to-do list this week? Every week, every day I have something that I want to check off. Some days I'm just like, other days it's like, I'm just going to come back to it. I don't know. Nothing got done today. And that's okay too, because sometimes things have to marinate. And I'm calming my spirit to know when to hold them and when to fold them. But anyway, back to the characteristics of success. So they have several, but number 3 really stuck out to me. And it talks about the alignment of resources towards what works, using data to continually adapt. And then Boston had this Operation Ceasefire, like all the effective collaboratives that was studied in the Jolin et al. Article. And it made exhaustive use of data at every stage of its work, really to define the problem. And that is what I want to do with MATRI. I want to have it be defining the problem so much that it's no longer a problem, it's more of a web of solutions. Ooh, you can take that if you want to, because a lot of times we hear Black maternal mortality framed as the problem, the end all, and that's it, nothing else afterwards. But no, we do have a solution. MATRI is a solution. I made it because I am a Black mother. I made it because I am a doula. I made it because I'm sitting at the table and listening to some of these problems from other organizations or other professionals, whether that be OBGYNs, whether that be nonprofit commission boards of our state. Like, I'm listening to all of these things, and I'm just constantly taking in data, writing notes down, and unfortunately, a lot of the stuff overlaps 100%, but because of hierarchy, because of this game that has to be played, and I don't like playing games, but if I do play, just know I'm in it to win it. So with that, definitely going to keep having data and even feedback loops to the appropriate parties in every level. I feel like that's the most helpful, because that to me shows, hey, we're the most open, we're not hiding anything, and we're really doing this with you all in mind. And then lastly, we had to review or watch a video called Getting Your First Journal Article Published by Professor James, I don't remember how to pronounce his last name, Professor James A. And he gave 7 points. He said, publish quality over quantity, duh. Pick the right journal. Yes, I'm in the process of picking the right journal. Join the convo. Yeah, I'm joining the convo because I'm talking about it right now as gray literature. Follow the guidelines for submission. Yes, sometimes we have hard times following directions, and I'm going to do my best with having my team and people who have done this before on my side to help me align with what they're asking me. Right now, edit later, I am very famous for this. I don't always like doing outlines. I like following where the spirit moves me, or where the spirit moves me, or what I am impacted by. And I'll write about it. And then think about co-writers. I'm thinking about it. No one really comes to mind right now. And then learn from rejection. I've learned a lot from rejection with applying to accelerator programs, for grants, and for jobs in these past 2 years. So I say I get an A+ in learning from rejection. Actually, the last thing I read was about from Cornell University and gray literature. And since I'm a grad student and I'm doing a report, and I have this one down, so I do plan once again to submit to journals. I have a few in mind, but again, stay tuned. We got this. Thank you thank you all so much for joining me. This is my final part in this series, and next step is graduation. Bye.